All right. Greetings, everyone. Welcome, Dorsey's Resource, Open Forum Q&A. Thank you for joining me, guys. Topic of this video is going to be open forum Q&A session discussion, freestyle. First, before we get started, I'd like to give a disclaimer. This video is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. Please understand everyone's individual circumstance or situation may be different. It's up to every individual competent person to please do his or her own homework and research into the matter being discussed. This information is not to be construed as legal advice. In the event you feel you need to seek a competent professional, it is encouraged that you do so at one's own leisure. Dorsey's Resource is not liable or responsible for any misuse of this information. These are simply my opinions on the topic. With that being said, all rights are reserved. Now, I want to let you guys know I'm back. Thank you for joining me. I'm still here. Just to let you know, this is open forum Q&A. I wanted to go over some recurring information and give you guys some updates as well. The previous video that I had done, I had a troll that left a really derogatory, demeaning comment. So I wanted to show you guys evidence. I did a screen capture video just in case you guys don't know, to show you what I go through sometimes behind the scenes. That's why I disabled a lot of the comment section in a lot of my previous videos. But I received a lot of positive feedback overall from people. Just to let you know, by the way, I never had a staff. I've tried to look for assistance in the past with this channel, but it is for what it is, so I'm not stressing it. Camilla Barnes in the chat says, good evening. Thank you for joining, Camilla Barnes. Good evening to you as well. Welcome. So I just wanted to let you guys know the prior video to that comment that the troll had left. I also forgot to mention that last video that I had done, the weather was really bad that night. I don't know for sure, but I think it was in relation to the weather. But I discovered something else that had to do with my phone. It was something a friend of mine gave me. It was like a metal piece that you use, and it appears as though that it was disrupting my internet feed, my connection. I discovered this, figured it out on my own. It's like a piece you put in the back, you connect it to a magnet. Say if you're GPSing and you're going somewhere, and you hook it up to the the clip, you clip it to the where the heater comes out at, and it's like a magnetic piece, and it seems like that was causing the disruption. As soon as I took it out, when I discovered it was back there, because I wasn't even sure where it was at first, because you put it behind the phone, and I discovered it, and I think that's what may have been the problem. So that previous video, that's why it came out very distorted, where it was really choppy, but also that particular night it was very strong wind, so that could have had something to do. I can't say for sure, or it could have been a combination of both. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that's a rare case when that happens. I did have a similar instance happen in the past with the previous video, but that was based on the internet connection, was not that strong. But this is also open forum Q&A, so this is the time to reach me, to ask me questions, because I don't do private consultations. Just to let you guys know, I've reiterated that in the past. People seem like they still ignore it, but that's why I say the best time is to catch me when you can catch me, when I do these live feeds. That's the reason why I go live. I'll try to go live more so during the day. V Heart in the chat says thumb up. Thank you for joining, V Heart. That's my aunt, by the way, guys. Money Boy in the building, family, says, what's up, family? Greetings to you, Money Boy. Welcome to the chat. So this information I'm going to go over in this video, it's like a freestyle. Basically, it's open topic, open forum. That's why I have it the way it is. Open forum is like, freestyle discussion, so you guys can talk about whatever. This is not geared towards any one particular topic. Turn this down. Okay. Put this up. So just to let you guys know, you guys got any questions, anything you want to ask me, go right ahead. Feel free. Don't shy away. This is the time. And even for future videos, whenever you see I go live and I have open forum Q&A discussion, that's the best time. And I'll try to do my level best. I'm not a know-it-all. But I have been called by some a human encyclopedia pertaining to certain types of information that I know, but I want to say I don't know everything. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I don't claim to be a know-it-all, but I will try to answer questions if I can about different various things that I've discussed. So without further ado, I want to go into some must-watch documentaries and information. It's like a reoccurring topic for you guys. I think it will help explain a lot of questions, because I can see when I do talk with people, a few people I met, that there's some information that they're not aware of. And I think these documentaries will help you connect the dots. It's a reason why I go over these basic documentaries and pertaining to the banking monetary system. I've come across some new information lately that appears as though they're using this banking system, and I've discovered this years ago, as a financial weapon to control people. Like, if you guys know about this global currency reset, why they stalled these private humanitarian programs, these private clandestine operations, because I feel like, in my opinion, if they really cared about the people, they're saying, because this troll that left the previous comment said you have something to do, you have the ability to do something on a global scale. Well, let me deconstruct this too. There's two sides to things, and sometimes what they're not telling you, they paint a picture. I'm not saying this is the case with every humanitarian program, but many of these nonprofits are cover for, you know, different operations such as money laundering, or they pose as though they're philanthropists or philanthropic, but they keep over 90% of the funds while they collect other funds and privately. Like, they don't tell you when famous people make big tax write-offs, so they say giveaway or whatever, have schools or things named after them, and they're not telling you behind the scenes when the media reports on it. They're just keeping it basic. They're not going in depth or saying this foundation donated to this. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. However, when you do further research, there's groups that do investigative research pertaining to things of this sort. It says, Dorsey, we have a nonprofit, I just don't know how to use it in the family. Okay, understood. Money Boy, same here. I'm still learning some things myself, but just to give you guys a heads up, too, in my opinion, this, and I'm speaking in terms related to the reset, because there's different types of nonprofits and foundations, just a little bit that I know. I'm not an expert in this category. I did give a disclaimer, so this is not legal advice. Keep that in mind. But in my opinion, what I've discovered is some really evil things that they've done with the banking system to keep many from trying to become free, especially in the redemption movement. And there's gatekeepers out there who don't really know what's going on. And then you have people who are less informed or ill-informed that may know about the movement, but they don't know certain types of critical information dealing with the private sector or the difference between the public and private. And I want to say, by no means am I expert. However, I have experienced the level of knowledge that I have. Speaking from experience, there are different levels to this type of information. There's different levels to this. So let's be clear. So when people mention they give money to different causes, they're not telling you too, these are big tax write-offs. Where, let's say if somebody asked me to donate something to them and I don't have a foundation, I don't have a nonprofit, for example, and I just give straight out my pocket. Well, that's coming from my hard-earned labor that I make from my job. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing either, but you only have, it depends on the circumstance of the situation. You only have so many people that are able to help assist certain individuals at a time, or, you know, based on the geographical area or region, or based on whatever the circumstance may be. Whatever, because you have a lot of people starting like GoFundMe accounts, and then they've got something else called Indigo, and this has become a famous thing where they're also scams too, by the way. Then GoFundMe takes a certain percentage of the amount that people give and stuff like that. Then there's some people that want to follow the straight and narrow. They say only a small percentage actually report on their taxes that amount. So you got like several different things going on. But I just wanted to share with you guys to delve deeper into these types of things that's going on. And when some of these different groups that pose as private humanitarian programs or private clandestine operations, you have to ask, do they have a sincere ulterior motive? Because in my opinion, pertaining to the global currency reset, I feel as though Money Boy says, I want some real honest people that know how to help run the nonprofit that's going to help me run it correctly and give back to the community. Yeah, that's what we all want. That would be definitely something that is important. But from what I'm going over, it's like a vetting process you have to go through, because it appears as though to me that some of these elite individuals that have this knowledge that they were taught by their parents, they were sent to private schools by invitation only, or they study out of it. They were sent to private seminars. I see Jakisha right in the chat says, peace and blessings, Dorsey. Big shout out to you, Jakisha. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. So I wanted to give some insight that there's not really a governing or regulatory body on the private sector, because they're like, there's some things I can't go into, but they're like above the law, just to keep it simple. And when they're not really giving this certain amount of money to, like say when Haiti had an earthquake, for example, some years ago, just using this as an example, you know, Hurricane Katrina had an incident where they were asking people to donate, because a different company that I worked for back then, it was a security company. They asked to donate, and when I went to Whole Foods, I think I had given something. They asked me at the time at the cash register, you know how they surprise you. But this is not really, for some people, it's a benefit tax write-off wise. But other people that give, this is actually taking a portion or a significant amount out of their hard-earned labor. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to micromanage with how much a person gives or whatnot, but I just want to give you guys insight that there's a game behind this. And I feel I wanted to show you guys, based on my research and what I've come across with the secret TDA account. Some of you guys remember from 2017 how I discovered, and Harvey Dent and some other people, the Federal Reserve was blocking this. Says one time I swallowed a nuke, you could say I had a blast. Okay, looks like I'm not really sure what that was supposed to mean. Maybe a troll in the chat. But I'm not going to really, I'll try to keep up with the chat, but I'm going to try to stay on topic. But this is something to pay attention to. I think it's very important. I went over Money Masters. You can watch for free on YouTube. Monopoly Man is another good documentary that deals with the banking system. And check out one called Changes on the Horizon. It says humanitarian projects are the biggest tax write-off. Okay, yes, I think, yes, you're on point. And I can see it's a good thing if it's sincere. But it's also based on what type of humanitarian project it is. Like, is it going to do something to really help people? Is it not where it's not going to be used for negative purposes? Like, for example, donate to an organization that may have been known for poisoning crops or food supply or whatever, but genuinely give to maybe an organic farming organization or something that is going to help heal people. Because, you know, natural things and herbs and organic food are healthier for your body and assist. Not saying it's the end all be all cures based on whatever ailment, but overall you have to ask the question sometimes when people say they're going to donate to certain organizations, or maybe even St. Jude's, when you know, chemotherapy has been known to make the cancer worse because of the radiation. When there's other things that can naturally heal cancer, such as the apricot seed that has vitamin B17 in it. There are other things, other organic types of substances that can do that. Money Boy says like Monsanto's. Yeah, I didn't want to say the name, but since you brought it up, Money Boy, that's what I was kind of alluding to. So you guys you get what I'm saying, definitely. Thank you for paying attention, Money Boy, because a lot of people don't get this. And this is where I'm feeling like, because I was part of a private clandestine operation some years ago. Then you know, individual disappeared, then they resurfaced just last year, then they came back out all of a sudden like everything's hunky-dory and all fine and dandy, and things are changing all of a sudden. And I said I might not probably be coming back. I've just decided it's too much back and forth, too much secrecy, where I can't feel like I can depend on being taught or properly educated by these people to walk me through. So I'm going to have to go through a different means, because if I had the money already, I wouldn't mind paying for professional lawyers or CPAs, because I know there's certain types of lawyers that have been trained on specific exclusive types of information. And because I understand certain types of information I'm not necessarily going into, I can actually piece some things together myself. But the difference is they're using the financial system to keep many of us suffering on these 9-to-5 jobs, using different tactics for those of us who were trying to become free. And then when this individual disappeared for all this number of years and just came back all of a sudden, says nano vericides. I'm not sure what that is, Jakeisha, right? You have to kind of explain that. But just to kind of stay on topic, is that it's been very difficult. It says, Dorothy, I have some paperwork I want to email you. You can see it. Okay, that's fine. I caught the first part of the chat. See, guys, when I'm on the phone, I can only read so much. Okay, it says we can go through it and see if it's correct. What can we do to put it together? Okay, because right during this time, you can shoot me over the paperwork. I can try to take a glance at it, but I still do research in depth. I still study, but it's the right type of information too, because some people, what they've been doing, you have people all here that are mixing public information with private types of processes, and that don't really go together. You have to know the difference. Says, keep doing your thing, Black Moses. Thank you, Jim Jones. That's funny. So just keep that in mind, that like I had a subscriber, someone asked me recently, by the way, does the secured party creditor process work? And I said, for example, they've changed a lot of things in the past. Things that were once, that used to work years ago, may not work today. And then it depends on your local laws in your state or wherever region you're at. And then you have different people that are at different levels of information. There's different levels of knowledge. But what I was alluding to kind of get back on track, is that the powers that be that have the playbook, the schematic, like the coach to the team, that has the specific plays, that know the secrets, so the loopholes, they're holding this information back. Says Demetrius Staten, PTK back on the scene. Yes, you're absolutely correct. And that's who I was referring to. I didn't want to say the name because I had some individuals that know me or are friends with me on my real personal Facebook account, and were looking at my previous videos and going back reporting information. By the way, I was getting a call in. Sometimes people know when I'm going live or whatever. I can't answer any phone calls. That's the first time I've actually gotten a call going live, but I'll call that individual back. But just to let you know, I'm personally frustrated that I don't really feel like coming back to that thing, because I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. However, I do have some questions that I would like to ask a couple of these individuals pertaining to some things. By the way, I won't go into it right now, but it's just a couple questions, a few questions. I actually created a list because there's a lot of secrecy going on, and individuals who are still in the public sector but may know about the private sector that are trying to transition out, you know, some people have trust issues because of what happened in the past and how all these years later this was being stalled. Now, I understand not putting blame on this individual. They didn't control or don't control when this reset allegedly happens or when it's supposed to take place. So I've said in the past, in my opinion, they should have allowed the prosperity programs, the prosperity packages to pay out instead of stalling this and making people wait. Because you had people that honestly wanted to get started. I'm a lot older now than what I used to. So, you know, guys, naturally, when you get older, you don't have as much energy. I do try to stay healthy. I take nutraceuticals, supplements that have herbs in them, have specific herbs, whatever. That's just, I won't say specifically. Some people that know me personally know where I purchase them from, or what, you know, I do the research behind them, and they have worked for me. They've helped me out. But as you age, your body, you're not able to eat maybe the same types of foods anymore. You have to eat healthier too to try to stay sharp. And then I'm also on a night shift, a graveyard shift. So I've had a really difficult time. It's been extremely frustrating. And I've been doing this for a long time, you know, quite a number of years, because I had individuals out there trying to compare when they had just started working nights. And when you've been doing this for a number of years, for example, I was talking with the lady at a bank, and she told me her mother worked the night shift for like over 15 years, and she couldn't do it no more because of the toll it takes on your body. So in longevity, wise over a period of time, it definitely takes a toll. But these supplements that I've helped take, that I've taken, nutraceuticals, have helped tremendously. Vitamins and stuff of that nature, minerals that have these herbs, have helped out a whole lot too, by the way. But at the same time, it's been difficult. And then you have these people at the top that have been withholding this information for years and keeping this information very secret. It's made it difficult. And then I have people that come to me that think that I know all of the pieces when I'm still learning myself, but I'm at a different level. You got to understand that I'm at a different plateau than some people. So it's like, if I have to come back down, that's going to slow me down from the progress that I need to make, because I need to get there first. And it's Jakisha Rice says, GCR is going on right now. You're either public or private. You know, global immunity is imperative. Yes, I wouldn't have had no problem, just to let you guys know, for example, and I'm just going to use this as an example, that I discovered years ago while I'm speaking of the banking system, and that if I had the ability to access the funds already, it's not that I'm selling out or the currency, I wouldn't have never even started these YouTube channels. If I had got funded years ago and things had happened when it was supposed to, honestly, and my paperwork had went through, I would have just, you know, gone, you know, not ever done this. What about attacking the payment bond? Okay, I'll try to get, come back to me later, Demetrius, even though I did say this is Q&A. Sometimes I get thrown off. When you guys ask me a question, it's best when the transition of the conversation goes when I'm not trying to speak on something that's in depth. But I just want to clarify that you are aware of that organization that I was part of or whatnot. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be coming back. I've been very disenfranchised, you know, because it's for the simple fact that it's taken this many years. It's a lot of vacillation, a lot of back and forth type stuff, and I can't operate like that, you know. Then on top of that, being on this type of shift that I work and trying to study and stuff, I've really lost the motivation in a way. But however, I still do study other types of information in terms of dealing with the private sector, because there were other methods and things that I learned in the past, not going as in depth, but you know, as far as you know, certain types of contracts that you enter into legally. So, you know, I'm trying to speak in code in a way, but those are, you all may be aware, if you can kind of read between the lines. So it's not that I've totally given up. It's just that other information is very high level, and being that it's like they're playing this game, I don't know if they're doing this on purpose to see how long certain people can endure, but it's like they're dangling the carrot or candy at the top, or like the puppeteers, and they're using a test of endurance. And I get it, to see how long some people will be able to make it or last, but it's being done, in my opinion, very maliciously, by the way, because they're using different tricks. Like if you've seen those games where people play, where there's different obstacles and stuff in place, where you're not sure, where there's like a trick trap where you they say you need to jump over here, and then the floor just drops and you just fall down, but you didn't know, you know, that trap was there. And you know, it's kind of stuff like that. If you kind of can read between the lines, the example I'm giving, maybe not as good of an example, but you guys get what I'm saying, that it's too much vacillation, too much back and forth and secrecy and things. And some information I already knew, like pertaining to the cryptocurrencies. I'm gonna say about a year ago, there's a guy I follow down in Florida, his YouTube channel, by the way, just to show I get information from all different circles. I study multiple information as well, and you can learn critical information from different YouTubers. He has a channel, it's called JSnip4. I believe he's based down in Florida, and he used to talk about a lot of videos pertaining to silver and gold. Then he started getting into the cryptocurrencies very heavily. Says the revaluation wasn't designed for us. That's why the games they play. Well, however, yes, but it was, you're not aware, Jim Jones, check out the documentary called Changes on the Horizon. Changes on the Horizon. And I can't confirm how true this is, but however, it does talk about some of the elite children, whatever, they were part of these multi-level marketing programs, also known as bankroll programs, that transformed into what was known as the prosperity programs. Not to give it away for you guys. And there were different programs such as Omega, Freedom Club. Now, I wasn't part of those two. I won't name some others, but some of these programs were real. They were legit. However, they had different structures to them that some people that were part of them didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, but some individuals do know they were legitimate. But however, the cabal came in. You also have the evil cabal, the satanic cabal came in and is purposely, intentionally placed different obstacles in the way, and they've done a lot of things, and they've used their gatekeepers, minions, underlinks, and deep state operatives to sabotage people as well. This has been confirmed. This is very real. Like when I heard it was supposed to happen years ago, and they made 9/11 happen, like with the Twin Towers, because I heard that day some documents was supposed to go out. There was supposed to be some things pertaining to gold-backed currency or whatever, and it didn't go down because that event happened, and it declared like a state of emergency, basically. Like a form of martial law. Because I remember I was on my way to work that morning. I actually worked at a particular college at the time where I graduated from with my associates, and it was very similar. I heard stories when people mentioned when John F. Kennedy got assassinated years ago, they sent the children home from school. People left their jobs early. I remember we were all sent home that day. I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. I saw on the news. So this is a tactic that the criminal cabal known as the deep state, and keep in mind the deep state is an umbrella term. The shadow government is above the deep state. The deep state, as I was explaining to someone, the people to pay attention to a lot of times that are gatekeepers or minions when people speak of agents, because I've been accused of being an agent, and no, I'm not an agent. I'm still punching the clock. And what one friend of mine stated on my behalf, he said that maybe some people don't want you doing this YouTube channel because I give out too much information, because they're selling this information to other people, and that's how they eat off of it. But mind you, I only get from Google AdSense. I don't have a Patreon set up. I don't have PayPal, none of that yet. Says the elders are in control of the GCR. This is the end of the cabal. It says sometimes I stick with the raisins under my... Okay, I didn't finish seeing that other comment. But I get what you're saying, Jakisha. You're on point, too, by the way. But there are some things that I know from my end as well, even though the main thing they're using that's made it difficult is they're using this financial system. So I want to say, think about some of these programs. Are these people really sincere? Because if they were really sincere, why are they allowing with this tier system, people who are already rich or high net worth people to exchange their foreign currencies first? Or people that are able to have these humanitarian projects, give them the funds first, when I thought it was supposed to be a shotgun start, meaning everybody was going to start at once. But it's like they're playing favoritism, picking and choosing. And that's another reason why I said, I'm through. I might be probably leaving, because I'm at this point, I've lost the motivation with that particular program. Other stuff I'm still following. I'm still studying separately different things. But that's just, my opinion, if they really sincerely cared. And then they have these gatekeepers of people in the public who are famous. They always telling you all the time when they donate to a certain organization, keep in mind the money that they're making. They're already making a lot more money or currency with their jobs, a higher salary they're getting paid. So it doesn't hurt them. Plus, it's a tax write-off. Whereas if I donate, let's say $100,000 from my check, that's something, my hard-earned money that's supposed to go towards paying my rent, my utility bills, which is a fraud. When they were blocking us with our secret accounts, we discovered the Federal Reserve with that code, bank code R34 or whatever, using that tactic. When you use the secret account years ago, I heard it used to go through. But they said they saw the names of a bunch of people as banks, and they were wondering what was going on. They put up a red flag, so they made it where you have to use other entities to operate. But to me, this is like a form of stealing from people. We discovered this. Those of us who are awake, access to our secret account, you need to let us access it. Don't be concerned about, another thing, what are some people going to do with the money? I heard that some people had drug overdoses. Some people were using that car erratically, and may have got in trouble. I heard one guy was selling expensive cars. And, he already had access to the black car. It's like, why would you do that? And then other people never got a chance to access it at that time. But everybody else got punished as a result. See, these different rules, it's been, an individual like myself, had to go through all of this. How would that make you feel if you were in my shoes? Think about that. This is not about me, but just how would it make an individual feel if you were placed, if somebody was part of a private clandestine operation, used the black card, and emptied out ATM machines, or bought expensive sports cars or bought computers, and you had got access to yours, but you followed the rules. When you were supposed to receive the instructions to use them, you didn't use it yet. But there were other individuals who went and made extravagant purchases, bought TVs, went on shopping sprees, because they were very public with their transactions, and this put up a red flag, but they cut everybody else off, so everybody else gets punished as a result. You guys kind of see what I'm saying? Could it be a public/private issue? Yeah, in a way. But some of those people, in my opinion, just should have got cut off. But now they're saying with this particular program, there'll be no more mistakes, no more mishaps. You should have did that a long time ago. That's why I personally have lost my motivation. And I said, I'm probably not coming back. I don't want to come back. I'm at the point, I am part of some other programs. I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. This is one question I do have, and something else that they know I'm probably part of, speaking in code, that I want to ask them, because I'm very disenfranchised, very displeased, and I have every right to be. I shouldn't be made to feel guilty, and no one else should. The way this is ran, and I'm just saying it is for what it is. It says, don't give up, brother. I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you. I haven't given up, but that's just how I kind of feel. It is for what it is. But if I had got access to the money, the example I was going to give earlier before I shut things down, let's say, for example, and many of you all know who George Soros is, or let's say even Warren Buffett or Bill Gates. It could be any three. Said, hey, Dorsey, we feel your pain, we feel your frustration. We're going to cash you out. This could have been years ago, mind you, by the way. I would have never been on YouTube. But we got to have some type of leverage to voice my opinion and let people know what I went through was real. This is not fake. I'm not making this up. This is not conspiracy theory. This is not hearsay. Because you have some people out there, and I can't force you, I can't make anybody believe what I went through, but this is what I went through. I'm speaking from the heart. This has actually happened to me, something I was part of. And I contemplated, even though I never went to the police yet, I never officially went to the authorities, but I did have a friend of mine look into it, and kudos to him, brought back some information. He emailed to me a long time ago, some years back, and it did show in there that some people in Tampa, Florida, had filed a complaint with the FBI, I found out, and some people in Orlando, Florida, had filed with the Marriott Hotel. I didn't even know about this. I was hearing about it when I was on these conference calls, like, what is going on, or whatever. I heard there's people in the family messing up this, that, and the other, but I didn't know exactly what it was. But a friend of mine did some digging, and he sent this to me. So, I had to find out, because I'm like, imagine, this is playing with somebody's mind. We're trying to transition to the private sector, and they came to us in terms, it's not just that we were invited, but in a way, my cousin did invite me, and if I'd have known I would have had to go through all this, I wouldn't have never even been part of this. And honestly, he had to convince me to even come, because I was never even going to be part of this. I was never, back then in 2009, it was like around the same time, last month in 2009, I wasn't even going to show up. It says the people of the 504 Trust are good with the GCR. Okay, I'm not familiar with that. Jakisha, the 504, and I still, just in case you're still watching, Jakisha, I want to network with you. I want to get with you, so hit me up through Skype. Let me know when's a good time to reach you. Also, that other message, I won't say the name of that other account to stay private, by the way, because I do want to touch bases with you, if you don't mind, to kind of pick your brain, and you're welcome to do the same with me, because I'm just looking for some insight. But I appreciate your feedback as well, definitely. So I just kind of wanted to get my way in, even though this was open forum discussion, open Q&A. Someone had a question earlier before I shut it down. If you want to come back in the chat, now is Q&A time. After I finish kind of ranting a little bit, you guys are welcome to come back in real quick before I'm getting ready to shut things down. But I'm giving the final call. Anybody that has any questions out there, let me know. Says Christy Isaac says, hi, Dorsey. Greetings to you, Christy. Thank you for joining. So anybody last call, I can't see the chat like when I'm on my laptop. It says call you. Okay, got you. Thank you, Jakeisha. I appreciate you. No doubt. So anybody, once again, last call, anybody have any questions, comments? There was one earlier, I forgot what it was. I can't really see the chat section. Let me see if there's a way for me to pull it back up. Okay, I can scroll down. Okay, now I figured it out. Because somebody did ask me a question earlier. I wanted to get back with them. Because sometimes I get thrown off when I'm kind of going off the top of the head. Sometimes, okay, look like that person was speaking in code. So... Okay, I'm still here, guys. Just going down, trying to get to this question that I saw from earlier. I do apologize, but I want to clarify some things first. By the way, the revaluation kind of says the revaluation wasn't designed for us. That's why the games they play. And once again, if you listen to Benjamin Fulford and Karen Hooters, there is truth to what they're saying. He said this wasn't just about humanitarian projects. This was also about freeing the world from financial slavery, too. And the white hats, kudos to them. Kudos to the white hats, the light workers, too, by the way, played an imperative role in this. So much kudos. I'm aware of them as well. And big shout out. Like, I'm still happy. I don't want you guys to think that I'm angry, I'm upset. I'm just voicing. So they're aware of my family, in case God forbid anything was to happen to me. My family or friends would be aware, my close people, if anything happened to me or what I was part of or whatever. So, but once again, you guys have any questions, jump in, because I'm getting ready to shut things down. I'm just going to the chat. Okay, so Demetrius Staten says, what about attacking the payment bond? Okay, that deals with, that's the question I was looking for. That deals with the GSA forms. GSA, in case you're not aware, that's an acronym for General Services Administration. They should be located in most major cities. They might be in a federal building. Sometimes they move locations. You'll have to check in your local city, municipality, or business district or midtown area. Some places have a place that's near their downtown location. It might be a business district or a downtown area or midtown. They might not call it downtown, but an area that's close. And it's pretty much like the business district, and there'll be an office. It could be inside a big building, but it's called General Services Administration, and that deals with the payment, the bonds, the different bonds that they have. The 25A, I know the what is that called? The affidavit, the Form 28. That's the affidavit. I forget specifically. See, I have to brush up, guys. There's a lot of research that I do, because there's different classes. See, many of us are behind the 8 ball because these people had an advantage. They were taught by their parents. They were sent to private schools by invitation only. They were sent to private seminars by invitation only. Also, check out Pastor Lindsey Williams' DVD called Secrets of the Elite. It'll help confirm what I'm going over. So that's why it's difficult, because it's like they want many of us to cram 20 to 30 years worth of information in a matter of several years. Now, some people are more advanced than others, but some of those people also got assistance behind the scenes from some of these people too. They're just not telling you. I'm not hating or nothing, but I was also one of the people that contributed in the movement in terms of emailing and assisting with paperwork and stuff like that, and audios too that I found from different gurus. And still, even though those Patriot gurus might not have been 100% correct, such as Patrick Devine, Winston Shrout, they helped pave the way. Dr. Sam Kennedy, some of us wouldn't have got to where we're at now, because this was a collective effort too, where people came together and shared information. And you had, of course, your advanced people that helped deconstruct and help connect the pieces together, along with assistance from the white hats or individuals from the private sector behind the scenes. So that's how this information, the technology from the paperwork, got better over time. But that's why it's difficult for those in the public that are trying to transition into the private sector to get to the top level. And then when people sometimes come to them for help and they're down here, it causes a person that's maybe here that's trying to get further up, it pulls them back down or stalls them too, by the way. And I do understand, so it's kind of like that's the perplexities that you have. It's complex too. But at the same time, I wanted to clarify this is what's going on from my experience. If you guys did take the time to watch this video, I appreciate you. You can follow me at Dorsey's Resource on Facebook. I'm on Twitter at Dorsey's Resource. I'm also on Instagram at Dorsey's Resource _2019. At Dorsey's Resource _2019 on Instagram. Also, of course, on YouTube. So, also, I'm on minds.com at Dorsey's Resource, gab.ai. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you joining the chat. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit the notification bell for whenever I put out new videos. Please smash the thumbs up button. Appreciate you guys for joining me. Until next time, take care.